Welcome to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Austin, and it is once again my pleasure to bring quality programs to all of you. I am excited with Explanation Point again to be here with another professional who is out there making everyone beautiful in the world. And this will be the first time in our podcast history that we're going to have a professional makeup artist and business entrepreneur who's going to talk about what she does for the last 15 years of her career. So I'm just really excited. I can't even tell you. 2018 has proven to be the best year we've ever had so far with so many amazing professionals here on the platform. If you happen to miss your chance to be on the BMWOC podcast, make sure that you check out the call of speakers that is coming out at the end of the year so that we can get you signed up and you can share what you do. The purpose of the podcast is to share our industry information, our publications, and our business strategies for you, the career seekers and enthusiasts who is looking to see what is out there in the entrepreneurial space that you can get into. And so we're going to share all of that stuff in the podcast interview. So make sure that you check out this interview as well as visit all the other pages we have posted and take the time to listen to all of the podcast information that is being shared on this platform because you cannot get this stuff anywhere else but the BMWOC platform. Before we get started, we would like to thank our corporate sponsors who are Cat Serrano LLC, Cheryl Wood and Powers, Concern and Learning, Evangelism Radio, Genesis Preferred Solutions, J Coach International, Nails Tax Help, My Financial Home, Power, STCI, and the Student Teacher, along with our other business partners, and everyone who is helping to make this event a huge, huge success. So I'm excited. We're going to get right into it. We're going to introduce Carla Ballou. Carla is a owner of CBArtistry and BOSS Cosmetics, which is a upcoming makeup artist, and she is a business entrepreneur. She has been on the business side for approximately 15 years. She holds a bachelor's in business management and an MBA in healthcare management from the University of Phoenix. She has always loved every aspect of the fashion industry, and she has decided that she can make a great impact using makeup. And so ever since then, she has studied with masterclass names like Melissa Hilbert and Sam Fine and some other important people that helped her in her career. So while we are looking at her bio and all of her accolades, I want to get right into the interview with Carla. Hey there.
Hey.
Hey, what's happening? All the way where you at, girl?
Hi, welcome to Los Angeles. How are you?
Yes. All the way out LA. I'm doing fantastic and welcome to the podcast. I'm really excited to be speaking with you today. So why don't you just introduce yourself about, I know you're in Los Angeles, but how did you get into makeup and tell us a little bit about your history?
Well, I think I got into makeup. It's probably been years ago on the business side. I actually met somebody who was really heavily into the cosmetic industry, and she kind of pulled me in and she says, "Hey, we're doing all of these shows. Would you like to come along? I can train you. We can market. We can do business. We can do a lot of things." So, I've been on the set of CBS and things like that, and I have my little letter from the Emmys, and so it was really good experience for me to get on the business side and really kind of understand, what the expectation was, what people were actually looking for, and really gave me a great insight to if I was to ever go into, makeup full time, where would I want to be? Do I want to be in the entertainment sector? Do I want to be in the bridal sector? What do I actually want to do? Probably about, I want to say 3 years ago, it came back around. So this is like the third time makeup has actually come around for me. The first two times I kind of, yeah, okay, whatever, it's fun and whatever, I did that. But when it came around this time, I was like, okay, God is actually trying to tell me this is where you need to be, but I didn't know even what aspects at that point, I wanted to do. But I decided to go ahead and register for classes. I ended up, going to a school and taking makeup classes for about 12 weeks. And then I graduated. And really, I won't tell you the name of who I did, but I actually ended up doing an artist. Literally, I had graduated that same day. I was asked by a photographer to come out and be the makeup artist. I just really thought it was just a regular person because they hit me up on Model Mayhem, and come to find out it was this well-known artist. And so, it was really interesting. And but needless to say, I was very just coming out of the water in makeup and didn't feel confident in myself and in my abilities. But it really kind of allowed me to see where I wanted to take it and really where I wanted to go. So that's really what made me kind of get into it, is more on the side and saying, okay, let's try the artistry side. Let's see if I'm any good at this. I don't wear makeup, but let's see how good I am.
Let's
I had
see how
already
good
got
you
the
are.
other side. Yeah,
Nice,
so
nice.
with that, and just have fun with it and kind of realize where I wanted to go at that point.
Nice. Okay. All righty. So thank you for sharing that information. Okay. So I kind of want to take a step back a little bit, because I was going to ask you, were you like me when I was a little girl that just, oh my goodness, I just couldn't stop looking at the makeup on the models' faces on all the magazines. And I wanted to be a Barbizon model and wear all the makeup and all that kind of stuff. But it seems like the makeup thing just happened to come as you were doing something else. And so when you went to college for your business management in healthcare, what was your line of thinking in terms of your career? And have you ever really just got into that field before the makeup thing came around again?
So actually, when I went to school, I went for business. I didn't know what type of business I wanted to run, but I really wanted to learn the intricacies of business. So I went and got my bachelor's, and then I only got my MBA and ended up in healthcare. And the reason that I really went into healthcare is because my son died at 22 months, and I was an advocate for women that I didn't want the same thing to happen to them that actually happened to me. So that's really where my career really took a change, and I ended up in healthcare for over 30 years. And really kind of being on the business side, the revenue side, and I'm pretty much the money handler when you go to a hospital or to a clinic, anything like that. But it wasn't until I really started saying, okay, this is really what I do, but this is not where my son lies. So I didn't want, what had happened to me and my son to actually happen to any other families, with the death and how that actually happened. So that's really what drew me into healthcare. After I did that, then it came along years later, and I was like, what am I going to do? Because I really don't have a creative side. I was doing nothing except, crunching numbers and looking at numbers all day. And that's really where I actually decided maybe this is the thing to do. Maybe this is, a different outlet for me. And so that's really what kind of drew me into actually going into starting on the business side. I was in that area, and then to kind of make it into the artistry and taking it on that way and seeing if I was even any good at really applying makeup to people, even myself. I don't wear makeup. That's the thing.
Wow, you don't wear makeup. And that's really interesting. Definitely. A lot of times what I hear from people who I talk to who went into healthcare for whatever reason have went there due to either their own issue or someone in their family. And so what I liked about what you were talking about was that you were looking for that creative side that will help fulfill you. And so what's incredible is that you don't wear makeup, but when I look at your photo, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I think it's fabulous. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a big, huge makeup buff. Okay, I love lipsticks and rouges and all kinds of stuff like that. And so, for those people who are listening to this podcast, who is just as excited as I am right now talking about makeup, let's talk about how you got started initially to do makeup. You talked about that one instance, but when you actually started to go out and do it on a regular basis, how were you able to find clients, and how were you able to, build your clientele and your craft in doing the makeup artistry?
Well, I think I've taken a different role or a different kind of road to where I don't usually do just have women clients or people that just come to me. I like to work more on the creative side. So I like to work behind the other artists. So I'll either get together with a hair artist or I'll get together with a photographer. A model may need a shoot done. People like that, because that's really, to me, where I really excel as being that creative director. And I think that's where my niche is. And so once I learned makeup and I got comfortable, usually when I'm out and about, I'm usually with a photographer or a model or somebody, that's a designer that's looking to have a shoot or a runway. I've done a runway shoot. I've done, LA Fashion Week. Things like that. So really, it's really high energy, and it just really keeps you going. You get in there, you get nervous. Every time I go out, I get nervous. But once I'm in there and they're like, okay, Carla, you got to do, these models, we need this done, we want this look, this and that. And then I'll say, okay, let's do that, but let's kind of change it a little bit. Let's change it up. And it literally works for the best for both of us. And so that's really where the excitement and the creativity comes in, is really me being the creative director and having that ability to actually show a photographer, hey, I know you have this in your mind, but let me make that pop for you. And really, if you can do that, that's really where I don't even market. I just have people, photographers and models and designers actually call me, because it's just word of mouth.
Wow. And so do you do just traditional makeup styles, or do you do other type of artistic makeup and things on the skin that really pops out for the people who are doing fashion or models?
Well, it's really funny because even when you do, I don't do any like fantasy or anything like that, or the haute couture. I'm pretty much kind of like the minimal glam, if that's what you want to call it, and that's really what I get called on, because that's where a lot of I would say designers and photographers are really going. Well, Carla, can you give me a bold lip, but I need something nude going on in the face, or can you give a nude lip and give me bold eyes, anything like that. Depending on the shoot that they're doing. And so that kind of works with me. And so I think I've just kind of branded myself and walked myself into my niche, which, minimalistic is really hard in any aspect that you look in art. And so especially to have to try and make somebody look like they have makeup, but they don't, that's even harder. And so I've managed to master that. I've learned it. I keep going and practicing at it, and it's just worked for me. And that's really what I get called on.
Okay, fabulous. And so how did Boss Cosmetic come out of all of this?
So last year I was invited to do, it's called the Ankara Festival, which is a huge festival, African festival here in Los Angeles. And I was actually called and I was approached to be a makeup artist. And then in the end of it all, I ended up being the lead makeup artist. And that's just, I think, more because of my business acumen. But when I started literally working on these women of color, I realized, okay, here's the problem. What I'm seeing is that, women of color have really, really curly eyelashes. And so I'm sitting there fighting with these little itty bitty eyelashes that were bought, and I can't put it on their eyes because I had to roll their eye up, push the eyelash down, stick the eyelash in. And I'm like, this is so not working for me. So I ended up coming up and saying, I'm going to design my own eyelash.
Nice.
Because I can't work like this anymore. And so, this year it will premiere at Ankara, where it all first started.
Nice, nice. Okay, so I will make sure that we have the link down there so people can buy, So are you just doing eyelashes? Are you doing lipsticks and different other types of cosmetics to go along with all that?
So I did, I'm doing my eyelashes, and then I have a lipstick that's actually coming out. It's a matte wear, kind of like a lip gloss, but in a matte wear, and something different colors. I'm not the one that does the nudes and things, just because of my background. I love color, and I'm like, okay, how can I bring color to women of color, or to any woman that really wants to wear color? So, and make it really look good on her skin tone. People have different underlying skin tones. Some are red, some are golden, the peachy type. So knowing what looks good on you is really what's going to make you stand out there and be unique, and people are going to start to recognize you. And so I said, well, how can I do that? So can I come out with different colors of green? Can I come out with different colors of purple? Things like that in these shades that every woman can wear and be bold. And so
Okay.
that's what I'm actually doing now.
Okay, well, absolutely. So let's just have a little bit of fun. Why don't what share I would say share maybe like 2 or 3 really good makeup tips for women of color, particularly around one, foundation, and two, in terms of lipstick, because I'm gonna tell you, I see so many of us out here wearing colors for their foundation that do not match their skin, or they're wearing the wrong color lipstick that doesn't really bring out the tones in their skin. And you're a professional. I need you to just say it like it is.
Say
What
it
do
like it
you,
is.
yeah,
Um,
don't do, okay. And I'm going to tell you, some of these people are going a little overboard with the highlight. I know YouTube is a
yeah,
teacher, but
yeah.
we need to have some consistency. So let's share some do's and don'ts for people
Well,
of color in terms of makeup.
I think people have to understand, especially when you're looking at, they have what is called Instagram makeup versus regular makeup. And because you see it on Instagram, yes, it's highlighted even more. But then if you try to highlight your face like that and walk out, it's really not, you're going to, be a glow stick. So it's really kind of knowing when to curve back and when to put that on. I don't always wear glow. I love glow. But usually I won't use a powder. I'll actually use, it's just like this glow that you can actually put on your face, a couple of glow drops, you put it on your face, and it makes your face glow. And then I will put on my foundation. So that really makes my whole face glow. I don't have to just have it on my cheeks unless I want to do an itty bitty little bit of highlight at that point, then I'll do that. But really, I like to make the whole face glow. And I think
Hmm.
any of my clients, they love that because they're like, you still gave me that glow. It's not too much. It's not a lot. And people are real, recognizing me saying, oh my God, your face is beautiful. What have you done? I would have to say, if I'm going to do any regimen, first of all, you need to make sure that, that you're washing your face. You don't sleep in makeup. So you're going to wash, you're going to exfoliate, you're going to tone, you're going to moisturize. I cannot tell people enough, you need to moisturize. If you want to keep looking young and be able to go without makeup, you got to moisturize. I also push drinking lots of water because that keeps your body
Hmm.
hydrated and it keeps you plump.
Hmm.
So I would say if those are my secrets, that would be it. As far as foundation, when you look at women of color, we are not one color. If you look at our face, we may have 2 or 3 different pigmentations on our face. Okay. And so what I have to do is I will usually take, I'll take 2 different colors and I'll blend them together to get the perfect foundation. And that takes time to really kind of look and see, what your actual color is. The good thing
Hmm.
about it is right now they actually have people that you can actually go to a cosmetic counter and they will actually match you. They'll color match you, which is great, because some
Hmm.
people, we, especially women of color, sometimes we get light in the winter, we get dark in the summer. So if you're trying to put that
Oh
same
yeah.
foundation on at different points, it's not going to
Hmm.
work.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah,
All
so it's
right.
very, I would say it's very important to make sure that you're getting color matched with the right foundation. And also you need to let people at the counter know, I'm oily or, I've got combination skin or I'm really, really dry because that's going to go on to how long, your foundation actually lasts because you're going to have to know how to apply it.
Right, absolutely. I know that I have went to go get color matched ad counters at the malls and stuff like that, but of course, the makeup that they sell there is highly expensive. So, what
Mhm.
is a really good tip for those folks that they gotta go to Walgreens, they're going to Rite Aid, they're going to get Maybelline CoverGirl, and of course, those bottles run anywhere between $8 and $13. So,
Uh-huh.
kind of share maybe like 1 or 2 tips on what's the best way to color match without spending like money for like 5 bottles trying this out and trying that out. Should they take a friend with
So
them and see if they can help find out how to match them?
Well, I can tell you the easiest way to match is to actually take some of that makeup and actually just put it right where your jawbone is, right along the jawbone. going across, and then try to match it to your skin and work it up to make sure that it blends in. What happens is too is like sometimes I can color match somebody and I'll think, oh my God, that's so not the color for them. But then I'll let it actually sit and it literally just kind of seeps into their skin and it literally is their color. So sometimes you'll have to wait. One thing I don't like, but I know a lot of people have their preferences on what they use. I do not use liquid just because it takes me so long to build up. Whereas if I use a cream, I can really build it up how I want to in a shorter amount of time. So I can tell you one of the secrets one of the brands that I really love, which is Black Opal. You can literally
Oh
find that
yeah.
in Rite Aid.
Oh yeah, Black Opal and Black Radiance I would say
Yeah,
that Black Radiance has some really nice concealers.
yeah,
Really, really nice
yeah.
concealers. I use the Black Radiance a lot and people are like, "Oh, what are you doing? You look 10 years younger." Black Radiance
Right,
650.
right. And here's what people don't get is even because I use Black Opal, but I use it on, non-women of color. And they're like, oh my God, where can I buy this makeup? And it freaks people out because they're like, really? I can get this where? You just color match me. It's great, and they love the turnout of it. And so, I've had so many people say, hey, can you tell me where to get that? I'm like, yeah, you can go buy that at Rite Aid.
Oh
So,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, are you involved in any major conferences or maybe some events that you're hosting that people will want to come out and get hands on tips from you about makeup or even just want to hire you to do their makeup for whatever project that they're working on?
Yeah, I mean, anybody can contact me. I am doing two major events. I will be doing this year, like I said, this is my second year doing the Ankara. So please everybody come out to the Ankara Festival if you live in the Los Angeles area. It is a great way to see, African designs, the African bazaar, and really what we are able to produce on stage with, makeup and hair and the clothing that actually comes along with that. I know starting next year, I will be part of the Miss Black Universe. That is held every year, I think, in April.
Woo
But
woo.
I will, yeah, I know.
Woo
I was
woo.
approached about that. So, um,
Wow.
yeah, so the Miss Black Universe, I'll be doing that out of Ohio and then bringing it on into the actual finals, which is held in April of next year. So that should be fun too. So those are two major events. And then I get, I have a shoot this coming Sunday with a photographer who wants a fashion look for three models. So, it's funny because it comes in droves. I get busy and then I'll be low for about 2 weeks and then all of a sudden
Mhm.
I'm starting all over again.
Wow. Okay. So I want to ask a couple more questions before we close out. Was there ever a time where someone just did not like the makeup style that you applied? And if that was so, how would someone be able to handle that? And this really goes towards folks who are getting excited like me about the fact that they can go out there and do makeup,
hmm
but they also have to understand that everybody may not like the makeup that's being applied to them. And how did you handle that?
So I think one thing that I've learned is that you really kind of, what I do is I actually have somebody, if I'm working with them, I want you to show me your vision. I want you to show me a picture that you're looking for. Now, I will be honest and tell that person that will not look good on you because that's the wrong color. Um, but I really get into what are they looking for? Are they going to a specific event? And how, what are they trying to portray? Because I tell everybody, life is you being on a stage. It's like, what actress are you playing today? But I think that's important, and I've had it happen. I did a quinceañera, and the mom, they'll be like, "Oh, we love everything, we just don't like the lip." Now, mind you, I'm true. I think I'm a mixologist when it comes to doing lips because I don't use just one color. I'll use 4 or 5 and mix them together.
Nice.
And so she's like, "Oh, well, we want, can we have a bolder lip, or can we have this, and can we have that?" And I'm like, yeah, you can have whatever you want. Just tell me what you want. And I think as a makeup artist, you've got to be willing to listen to your clients because they're the ones that are going to say after it's all done, this is great. I definitely want to refer you to somebody. She actually took the time to listen to me.
That's really, really great. Okay, so go ahead and share your contact information so people will know how to find you if they want to book you to come and do their makeup.
I am at www.bosscosmetics.co. That is my website. You can actually find me also on Facebook under CB Artistry Official. I am also under that for Instagram at CB Artistry Official and on Twitter at CB Artistry. So I think that's all of my handles.
All right, y'all. So she is out there beautifying the world with her talent, her creativity, and just really being a professional at what she does. And so I want to encourage everybody that if you have an interest in becoming a makeup artist, we now have a professional on the BMWOC that knows the ropes. So don't be afraid to contact her and ask her some questions. Also, check out some of the other folks that are in the beauty and health and wellness section of this platform so that you can also get their information as well and ask questions about how you can run your business because we definitely want to make sure that you are well informed on how to run your business. And so, Carla, I want to thank you so much for coming here and all the way from the LA to make us feel beautiful. I'm telling you made us feel beautiful on this podcast today.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that I was able to do it. I'm so humbled that you actually chose me to talk with you today.
Absolutely. Anytime.